Hey guys, welcome to another Walk-In Wednesday. You know, I took a little bit of a break because my film guy, Randy, who's behind the camera, he went away on a little bit of a vacation, and a lot of you were freaking out on me saying, where's the videos? So I'm going to pop out several videos this week, and this is going to be one of them. It's going to be a quickie, but it is a Walk-In Wednesday because this did come in the door. Now, I usually show you beautiful guns, and all of you ooh and ah over my beautiful guns. This is also a beautiful gun, but it's very much pitted. It's kind of like your ugly child. You still love it, but it's got a lot of flaws. So come on a little closer and take a look at this gun. So obviously this is a 1911. I assumed a Colt, 1911 Colt when it came in. The guy that brought it in said it was a battlefield pickup, and you can see that it is a World War I battlefield pickup, taken from the battlefields of France using a metal detector. Now, a lot of times when I tell stories like that, a lot of you challenge me and say, there's no way. I'm afraid this time I'm going to have to agree with you. There's no way this was in the ground for 100 years. So even though it looks like a battlefield pickup from France, I'm going to assume that is not entirely true. Certainly, it was kept very poorly. Probably, I would say, with this amount of pitting and rust, the wood actually didn't fare too poorly. I'm assuming this was in somebody's basement for a very long period of time. And I liked it. It just spoke to me. In fact, I wish it could speak because it would have quite a story to tell. The magazine was missing. But what I find most fascinating about this, and I am going to take it apart, again, I assumed it was a 1911 Colt. It's actually not, and I'm going to show you that. But if I rack it back and dry fire it, you can see it is still working. Now, nothing against the Luger, but I deal a lot with Lugers and just did a video on Lugers. The tolerances are so tight that often when I take the receiver of a Luger and put it on a different frame, it won't fit because it's so tight and the individually fitted. Anything this pitted, I'm sure it would not, you know, on the Luger, you rack it back by pulling up on the toggle. I'm sure it wouldn't work at all. You wouldn't even be able to rack it back if the gun was in this condition. But the 1911 Colt, the testament to Colt and their design, the tolerances allow this to continue to work. And spoiler alert, I am going to try to shoot this. When I say I don't mean me. I'm not going to try to shoot it. Randy's going to take it out this afternoon and shoot it. Now, what's cool about this is my guess is this gun has not been fired in 100 years. And you're going to watch it for the first time be fired in 100 years live and on this video. Okay, so I mentioned a damp basement. The damp basement would not actually hurt the wood. The wood actually does well in a moist environment, but the metal does not. Now this part, the slide stop, for some reason, I'm sure it was replaced because it is in much better condition than the rest. But notice the hammer and everything else. Hammer is all pitted. I am going to take this apart so you can see the inside. There's the barrel, all pitted. We'll take that apart. And then the front barrel bushing has been replaced. This piece and this piece are too good compared to the rest of the gun. And the magazine was missing. So obviously to shoot it, we'll stick a magazine in there, but that's no problem. Let's take a look at the other side. I mentioned that we thought it was a Colt, but actually when we take a really close look, what we find is it's even rare. Right here, you can see the Springfield Flaming Bomb logo. And if we look at, I have this one to compare. The Flaming Bomb logo is right there. That's what it looks like. And you can see just a piece of the Flaming Bomb logo. There would also be one here and here, although on the back of the slide, I can't really see it. I can close my eyes and imagine it, but it's actually probably gone. The other confirming evidence would be the serial number. So we know the Springfield Here's the serial range. You can see here from the book. There is a serial range for the Springfield. And in World War One, so this is a World War One gun. This is an early one from 1916. This is from 1917. Just like in World War II, the Colt couldn't keep up with the demand, and so they contracted out to other suppliers. In World War I, Colt made under 500,000. There were about 50,000 Springfields made, so that's 1/10 of the total number. And then about 20,000 were made by Remington, and there are other producers, but those were the three main producers of the 1911 Colt. So on the slide here, you see a Springfield Eagle. It's quite unique. And over here, there is something there, but we can't quite make it out. Again, we're just assuming this is a Springfield. Springfield made 1911, rare variation. But if we take a look at the serial number, so we know the position of the serial number is right here. We know this is an early one, 16. And then what I can make out here is a serial number that begins with 103, and we see that that is in the Springfield range. So 103, and then I can see some other digits, but my conclusion is this is a rare Springfield 1911 issued during World War I. Now, I brought this one. This one is actually from our website. I brought it out just to show you a comparison. This is fairly average condition. When you take these apart, the inside parts are marked with an S for Springfield, so it has S-proof marks on the barrel, on many of the other parts. It also has a unique magazine. You see the lanyard loop magazine, and what they call, it's not the keyhole, but it's a reinforced, copper reinforced back of the spine. This magazine will fit in here just fine when we're ready to shoot it. Yeah, pops in. Randy, good luck. Hope you keep all your fingers on both of your hands, but he's going to take this out and shoot it. Let's take this apart pretty quickly. I usually don't do takedown videos, but as you can see, this is unique. First, I'll take off the front barrel bushing. Push that button down a little tight. Swing this around, and this pops off. I've already mentioned that that's obviously a replacement. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is pull this back and line it up with this first notch right here. Most of you know how to do it. There's rust coming off of this, so you know this is old. It's very tight, but I'm lining that up. This actually pops off really easily. So you can see the condition. I'll put this here. That is the takedown lever. Now all we do is pull the slide off, and you can see the inside. Actually not too bad. It's rusted all through here. I can see the rust down in here. That's why the mag well was tough. Actually, you probably can't see it very well, but that mag well is pretty pitted. And I'm not going to take the grips off because they're already cracked and I'm afraid they'd break, but underneath there it's probably pitted even worse because moisture gets in under the wood. The wood holds the moisture against there. So I have seen very beautiful guns like this one and taken the grips off, and you'll see pitting under the grip. So I would imagine under this grip is even worse. You see the front strap and the back strap. This still works, by the way. It still has a spring to it, and that's the mainspring housing, which was smooth in World War I. World War II, they put a hump. I know I say it all the time. What hump? They put a hump in here, and then they also checkered it, made a little better grip. And by the way, I get the cheapest possible gloves, and you can see that in one shoot, they're falling apart. They look more like nylons than gloves, but I change them out every time. Okay, so now we get to the barrel. Again, these parts are probably S-marked. We'll pull the spring out and pull the barrel out. First, let's look inside. You can see the amount of rust down in here. All right, I take the barrel off, and you can see how badly pitted it is. I'm not sure this is the original barrel because I don't see an S. I do see a P-proof, which was what it should have, but I don't see an S-proof. And it, of course, is 45 caliber. Borchardt, not the Borchardt, that's a different video. The bore shots are difficult. So I'm going to have Randy try it out, but the bore looks as bad as, the inside of the bore looks as bad as the outside. So my guess is this will shoot and Randy will live, but I'm not sure. And that's why I'm not going to shoot it. But I would predict that accuracy will be impaired because I really don't see any rifling. I just see pitting. So let's take it to the range and find out. How cool is this? First time being shot in 100 years. Let's go check it out. Come on.
More pictures. Okay.
Hey, I hope you like that little flashback in history to 1917. But Randy is back safe and sound. All his fingers and toes are intact. And this was the review, as you saw. First of all, the gun did not load properly because the feed ramp was all pitted, so it would not slide up into the barrel. But when he put them in individually, he was able to shoot the gun. However, the slide did not function very well. You had to bang it a few times in order for it to shut. So it does turn out, to no surprise to us, that the pitting on the slide actually hurts and the feed ramp didn't feed properly. So turns out this is not a good protection piece. Hey, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you know when I do another video.